Hey guys, we're here to do a show recap for our second Toronto show.
Which was over a month and a half ago.
That's right.
So we're gonna have so many memories.
And I kind of realized it because I was editing vlogs today and I was like, we don't say a single word about it. And I was like...
I remember we kept trying to do it. And
yeah.
we kept being like, oh, we'll do it then. And then we just never found a time to do it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do it now. Oh, I should have asked Dan for a voice note.
You still can.
That's true. I'm gonna text him real quick.
Hey guys. So yeah, on, hold up. You know what, Katie's gonna be able to cut some of this out. Or maybe she'll keep all of this in.
Okay.
1 second guys, I'm not quite ready. Here we are.
Aww.
Here's a little clip of us from the festival, guys. It's not this, I'm just getting it focused.
That was cute.
So let's see this again.
That was so cute.
That was us after our second show.
Yeah. I think we have some cute pictures. I can put in pictures from that show too. We don't have a ton, but I think we have a couple.
Yeah, no, one more second. And action. So we did night one with Cam Wiley.
Yes.
And
that we did do our recap of.
We did, right. And then we did night two with Beggar's Canyon. I need to just look that up. See, you can tell I'm not looking anything up. Now I need to do something else. This is good. This is good stuff. Let's do sorbet.
You know, guys, remember the days when our recaps were 55 minutes long of us all talking about the show the whole time, and they just now, in this day and age, they're just getting shorter and shorter, and most of it is us on our phones.
You guys know?
You guys ever notice that?
And then night two, after Cam, we were with Beggar's Canyon.
Right.
With Pete.
With Pete.
And he with his ragtag group of people.
Uh-huh.
Chris, Rachel, and Cassie.
Yeah.
And we had to share a show with them. And that's pretty big to what a main story we're gonna tell is.
Huge even.
Yeah.
And I'm even like, do we say what he said to us after our first show?
I think so.
Do we start with that, or do we wait till we get to...
Wait till we. But he was just so sweet. Wait till we. He was just so sweet and nice from the get-go. Before we even met him, he's like, so excited to do a show, big ol' mess. You know, heard about us through Cam, or maybe he might have seen, I forget if he saw us a few years ago. He might have.
He might have.
We were up there, but
he was so sweet right away. Like, introduced us night one. It was so sweet.
Yeah. And for as good as our first show went, we were so much better the second show.
Oh my God. Like, I'll speak for myself. I was so much more relaxed. Like, I was so nervous for our first show, and the second show, I just was like, we didn't even rehearse that day.
Yeah, we were just ready.
We were just ready. It was really nice, and I was relaxed.
Yeah.
I was chilling.
Yeah, we had done it once and knew that it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, both shows were sold out, which is like so cool.
So
Great
cool.
job, Toronto. Yeah, and like we kind of made a few small adjustments to how we did it, and like the intro was great energy.
I don't remember any like standout moments from the intro, but I just remember being even higher energy and just being like, this crowd is really fun.
Yeah. Just knowing how to pace ourselves a little bit more, and like when to come in with the demonic stuff and how to like do that better. I think we did a better job with that.
I do too.
Just being a little bit more patient.
Mm-hmm.
So we did our opener, and like that all went great. I think also like Andrea knew our show better at that point too. So like that it just all felt like better a second time.
Yeah. Like I don't think we had any, maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't think we had any like tech mess ups.
I don't think so.
Which is nice.
So yeah, we do our intro, that goes well. We introduce the world to everybody. And then we do the second sketch.
And then we do Swedish Chef.
That's right.
And we had been told the day before, like, oh, I saw your Swedish Chef sketch, and my son will be in the audience.
This is Peter,
this is Pete.
Who we're sharing this show with.
Pete was like, my son will be there.
Who is
10? And he was like, so my wife and I were talking, we're like, do we have him step out during that sketch, or do we just teach him tonight what fingering is?
Yeah. Right. Through Big Ol' Mess explaining it in their sketch a little bit.
Yeah. So they warned him. They even they were like, Kermit's gonna have a penis. I'm sure they didn't say
penis. Yeah.
And he said even before any of that happened, like before he saw it, like the night before, his son laughed at that idea so hard where like throughout the next day, he just kept hearing his son laugh and be like,
yeah.
And he goes, are you thinking about Kermit with the penis again?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah.
So good.
So he was ready.
Yeah. And so when we step out on stage, in the very front and center seat of the entire theater is Peter's son. And his wife, Peter's wife and kid, like front and center. And we step out, and we're like, okay, we're about to do the sketch about fingering.
Yeah.
And we start it, and like everyone in the audience, apparently there were other kids in the audience, 2 people said.
Yeah, I saw kids later when we like had to go back, but I didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah. And everyone, you could feel the entire audience like
tighten.
Yeah, not in a bad way, but they were just like noticing that we're talking about fingering with these kids here. And
Peter's wife kept like covering his ears every time I said fingering, and I say it a lot.
Yeah, always after to be like, fingering, oh! And it's just like, well, it's too late. And because we get a little like graphic with it, but you could feel the audience being like, is this okay? Is this okay? Like, they keep mentioning it. We never lost them during that, but it was like, you could feel them being like, there was this tension building.
Yeah.
And it hit this point where eventually I just went like, I looked at the kid or the mom, I was like, hey, we're gonna keep saying it. And you could feel like the balloon pop over the audience, like it fucking just like exploded at that point.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and like it brought the crowd 100% on our side if they weren't already. Yeah. And just like at that point on, the whole show was a party. Like we had them already, but we totally won them over. And made them feel like they were in this big dumb party. It was so fun. And then throughout that sketch, we got to like play with him more too, where like there was a moment where I was like, I'm trying not to look at him, and like that got a big laugh. Totally, yeah. And just being like, whatever, it was so fun. Yeah. It gave us permission to be like, okay, we can do this now. Mm-hmm. And again, just the audience was just like, it just brought them onto our side, and that was so cool. And it's something that's like, just like it's never happened before. It's something that we've you can't really recreate. Mm-hmm. It was just like the magic of doing live shows. And like just like that's reason number 6,832 that we're like loose and improvised in our shows. 100%. Because it'd be so easy just to be like worried and just stick to the script and like have that tension. And have that panic. Yeah, and the audience just like holds onto that tension for us for the rest of the sketch, if not like the rest of the show. Yeah. And it's just like, no, the way we do shows is great for how we do shows, or the types of shows we do. Totally. I've like almost never had so much fun. Yeah, and we're just, at that point, we're just laughing and breaking on stage. Oh, and just, we interact with him later on in the show and stuff, and it's just like, this is a party. It was so fun. So fun. Oh, and then when Dan comes out as a Swedish chef, he really hammed it up. Once he heard us doing that, he came out and was like, ooh, yeah. Fingery with his fingers. Super extra fingery. Oh, it was so fun. I really laughed when he did that. Me too. It really, really got me. Great choice. He like came out finger first. It was like, it was so funny. Yeah. Yeah, I wish we filmed that show. Me too. But yeah, like that just got such a pop. And then do we do Piano Woman in that show?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then it's Piano Woman, and which just did better than the night before.
Yeah, I think I had them sing sooner too.
Yeah.
Or they maybe even just started.
They started to, and I think you then also like
got everybody to do it.
But I think they were already like ready to sing by the chorus. Which
I think so too.
The day before you had to pull them in a little bit more, but not this time. It was so cool.
It was awesome. It was so fun.
Yeah.
And again, by then we were just like, everybody was so loose and like laughing so much already that they just felt really, really in.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, when we did the big old Misla bit in that, you know, this time around we had big old Pete Cheems kicking us in the nuts.
That's right.
Love you, Pete.
Love you, Pete.
I hope New York was a blast.
Yeah.
Told people to go. I don't know if they did. I told them to say hi to you if they went. They might not have.
Report back if they did.
Yeah, hey, if you're watching this and you went, report back. And Pete, if you're watching this, report back.
That's right.
I don't remember much from that other than just like we were just like floating at this point in the show.
Yeah.
And then we did 100 Boys, which again, just like everything was elevated. It was 100 Boys versus 1 Gorilla.
And that's when I like go backstage and look and I'm like, oh, there's a ton of kids in the audience. I was like, oh, we were like full.
And 100 Boys versus 1 Gorilla is about a gorilla killing 100 10-year-old-ish boys. Another thing that this kid is. And so like I'm giving this monologue and he interrupts and was like, I guess I'm just saying, I was like, oh, we'll get to you.
Yeah.
So then when we get to the question portion of it, we literally just, instead of going to you guys right away, I go to him and let him ask his question. I forget what he said.
I know, it was something like,
why the boys? Why did he kill them?
Yeah.
Because they voted for it or something to that effect. But like at that point, it was just another one of those things like we can't lose right now. Like, we're just we up. It.
Yeah.
We back up.
That's right.
We were never down ever in our lives, but we back up at the same time.
Exactly.
And yeah, I remember it going so well.
It was really fun, and that was one where like, cause Dan and I the first night I think improvised a little too much about little boys dying, and it like didn't super land, and so then the second night we didn't improvise about that at all, and instead we got engaged.
Right. Perfect.
Which was really, really fun, where then I was just like, I don't know, where suddenly like our son's dying was an opportunity to fall in love, and I thought that really worked.
Yeah.
And then people were like really excited into it, and then when Big Ol' Misa comes back, it was like, oh!
Yeah, totally.
It was fun.
Yeah. I got to take so many breaks the second night, just waiting to say lines. It was great. Just like long pauses of...
I remember that especially in 100 Boys, where it felt like you had to like wait for a long time to get to finish any of your lines, because it was just like, they were so into it.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Which like, I don't know, when writing it, I just never expected it to go the way that it does. Like, I expected it to be funny and good, or at least somewhat, but yeah, it's great that has become what it is, where I'm like, cool, there's so many moments in this where I just pause. It's great. And the audience is into it, which is super fun.
It's so fun.
Then Big Misla comes back. And we do that whole bit. I don't remember, do our slow-mo bit. I remember that all going well. Yeah. Again, I keep saying this, but like we're just floating through the show. Yeah, it was just so fun. Ever since Swedish Chef, it's just been like, everything's working so well. And we do the slow-mo bit, that works. And eventually get to Bingo. And Bingo is just awesome. It was so such fun. A big fall Dan had, and yeah, Dan really fell, and he really like tossed the balls like way up in the air. It was really fun. It was loud. So loud, yeah. Bingo was a party. We closed our show and got like a huge big old pop. Huge big old pop. It was really nice. Yeah. And you know, just so many lovely people there. Yeah. And so many old friends, new friends, and too many to name because like it was such a great group of people that we got to see and hang out with. And,
yeah.
Felt really special.
It did feel special.
Yeah, that set was awesome.
It was so fun.
Yeah, I know. This sounds like I don't care, like a little pompous, but like it's just added to this long list of sets that just feel like floating fun sets. You know, like that felt similar to how like Philly has felt.
100%.
You know?
I agree.
And
feel that way to have a second ever show feel like a Philly show is like kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, because usually by Philly we've run it a bunch. It's a home crowd, and like it's hard to lose at that point because we're so prepared and the audience is so prepared. But this is like, okay, Toronto audience, which is somewhat new, and but at this point I feel like people know us pretty darn well at this point, or at least like have heard of us.
That's true.
Which is really cool.
It's our second Philly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, one of our fan bases.
Right. It's one of our fan bases.
You know, like if we do a world tour, it's on the list.
Of course.
So, yeah, fantastic.
It's so fun.
Yeah. And little bonus content, they do this thing where they basically, you do like an open mic but with sketches. And there's like 20 plus, maybe 30. It's called what's it called?
I know,
Sketch Train?
Sketch Train. I could want to call it Sketch to Death, and I was like, that's the other thing. Yeah.
So we do Sketch Train, and
we brought back an old favorite.
We did short form improv. Our it's our encore. Which maybe not anymore.
Well, yeah, we might have something else.
Unless we have Dan.
Yeah. That's true. Aw. Next time we get an encore, we'll have to figure out what our new encore is.
That's right, because it's bound to happen.
If it happened once, it can happen again.
What would we do?
Deck chairs.
Let's do it again.
We're like, we know what you guys like. I think that's what we could do in the future, but not for this run.
Right.
So we can't get a standing O with this run.
Right. That's like an old...
Or not a standing O, an encore.
An encore. Because this is definitely going to happen. We got to figure this out.
Right. We could do...
Vajammies. Something we have ready to go.
I know.
Something that's not wordy and not prop heavy.
Yeah, I've got it locked and loaded. Yeah. I know what happens, and I remember. I don't have a clue what happens in that sketch anymore.
Women empowerment?
Apparently.
Real ones know.
Real ones know.
Real ones know. Go watch.
That's pre-vlog.
We got videos up on Big Ol' Mess.
Oh, yeah. It's
up there.
Oh, yeah. You can watch the actual sketch.
Go to Big Ol' Mess Comedy on YouTube.
And you can see the actual reaction of people being like, woo!
Vajammies. Ah, stop! Make it stop! Ah! Oh my god, this happens every time. We'll find love one day, won't we, Vajammies?
Yeah. Woo!
So.
Yeah, it's a feminist anthem.
That is our feminist anthem. That is the reason that we got put in the ladies' block at Austin.
That's right.
Because they saw that sketch.
Right, they definitely weren't squeezing us in. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doing improv again was so funny.
It was really fun.
Like, yeah, just...
And the crowd was drunk and...
It was a party.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And it was all sketch people.
Yeah, so we had to like poke fun at
which
comedy.
They loved.
You know, yeah, they were into it. It was so fun to do that. It was so great to be like, oh, we've got a perfect thing we can do for this. And
yes.
We don't have to be...
We don't have to think about it hardly at all.
Right.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so fun doing that.
It was really fun.
Yep.
Okay, I guess that's all.
Okay, what I remember from our second Toronto show at the Toronto Sketchfest 2026, we were very much more loose and confident, almost too confident. I remember going into the second show like 15 minutes before we were about to go on being like, wait, I'm not nervous at all. Is this good or is this bad? Like, I always feel like a little bit of nerves is good because we had just done our first show like the night before and it was sold out, and this one was sold out, so we were on a little bit of a high. And then Peter from Beggars Canyon was telling us like, oh, my son, my like 8-10-year-old son is gonna be in the audience, and like we like prepped him, we like told him some of the jokes, like this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see Kermit with a big fat penis. I'm sure he didn't use the word fat, but and he said like his son was cracking up, so they were like, okay, like we've prepped him, you know, there's some stuff in the show that our boy is going to learn about for the first time. So we were all like a little bit like, okay, there's gonna be a little boy in the audience. And then we go out, and I remember seeing a handful of small children. I guess everyone decided to bring their kids to this second show. And specifically in the second sketch with Swedish Chef, I was backstage basically the whole time. I couldn't really see what was happening, but I could tell that you and Connor were feeling a vibe in the audience and talking around something, and I couldn't quite understand what it was. And what it was is that there's a child in the front row, and you guys keep talking about getting fingered and all of this blue humor and everything, and which is so funny because like the audience is obviously sees that, and there's maybe tension. And I don't forget exactly what Connor mentioned. I think he just flat out said like, this is gonna look, that's not the last time we're gonna say that word, so buckle up. And it just got a huge laugh, and I think the like addressing it made it so much easier just to be like, this is now kind of like a second layer of the joke, and there's kids here, and we're gonna say fingered, and we're gonna talk about getting fingered by the Swedish Chef with human hands, which was so funny. And later it connected with me of like what was making everyone laugh so much harder at this sketch in particular, because this was already a hot audience, arguably hotter than our first show, which is crazy. And then I also remember going back into the audience for 100 Boys versus One Gorilla, and that was the first time I like was witnessing how many children are in this audience. And where I planted myself in the audience was right behind a kid, and of course this kid is like looking around, looking at his mom, and he turns to me and he sees me, and his jaw drops, and like meanwhile Connor's giving a speech, and I like stare at him, and I just kind of like hold up my finger to my lips. I go, shh. And he's like, oh fuck. So he turns back around because, you know, he's a nosy ass kid. I don't want him to freak out because there's going to be a little bit of in the audience action. And then of course, the kids were loving the 100 Boys versus One Gorilla joke. I remember even seeing like it was like a young Gen Z audience, two audience members that had to have been like late high school or college, and they were cracking the fuck up. And it's like, yeah, of course, like this is who this sketch was exactly made for / making fun of. Like, it's for them. That was super funny, and the kids were acting like it was an involved show. And Connor took a question from a kid, and the kid asked the stupidest question ever, because it was a question that already was given an answer for in the sketch. I forget what it was, but it was very funny. So kids at a comedy show, it can go very fun, it can go very bad, and I think that added a really cool layer to our second show at the Toronto Sketchfest as Big Ol' Mess. And that's it. Love you.
Bye, guys.
Anything else happen?
In Toronto that we didn't talk about?
We had fun.
One thing that as I was editing that I'm like, I wish we would have done more of, that I want to be more intentional about the rest of our trips, is we normally have more like walking around in the street content.
Walk down the street. I knew that's what you were going to say. Yeah.
And we didn't really have any for Toronto. It was just getting back into it.
You guys were so cold.
We were so cold.
I wasn't.
No.
Katie and Dan especially were free.
Dan was colder than me.
For sure.
I'm a little tougher.
That's right.
He's just an LA boy now. But I'm like, there was no like walking around the street. Like, I can't believe we didn't film or talk about that restaurant with the pizza.
Oh! Like,
you remember that place?
yeah,
It starts with a B.
Got Baldiani's.
Baldiani's. Well, because we had a moment where like Dan comes home and he's like, it's like I was floating down the street. It was just like wafting and carrying me towards it, like a cartoon character. And then we were like, really? And then we went on a walk to go get like breakfast, and then we smelled it and we were like,
yeah,
this is so good.
And we went there when there wasn't a big line, but every other time there was huge lines.
Huge lines, like they had to have like ropes out.
Yeah.
And we got to just walk in on a rainy day.
Yeah, God, it was so good.
It was really good.
Yeah, everyone's like, this is the best pizza in Toronto. Everyone was saying that when
it was so good.
It rolled.
And we had a fun day where we just like walked around and went into like record stores and thrift stores. Dan started talking to some random guy.
Yeah.
There were so many things that like we did that.
We got burgers with Cam.
We got burgers with Cam.
Came over to hang out for a little bit.
I didn't get Cam in there at all.
Ugh, Cam, you're in there. You know that.
Yeah.
In our hearts.
I didn't get Viv. We went out with Viv.
Oh yeah, we had lunch with Viv. That was so sweet. We
really
saw Viv at Monster Island.
Yeah, I didn't film any of that. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I didn't film anything.
It happened. We were being present.
Yeah.
So.
But I sure do like to have it.
No,
you know what's funny though is something, oh no, this is Dallas, but something that happened that I was so confident that I had vlogged in the past, but then I went back today and couldn't find it because I was gonna like insert an old clip of Dan taping his toe. And then I scoured through all of our DC vlogs because I so confidently say in Dallas, like, well, yeah, that we know about that because we vlogged it in DC, but we didn't.
Yeah, you do say that. I remember you saying that.
I know, and I was so sure, and I don't.
Well.
So. Hey guys, so sorry about that. The camera did ultimately ran out of tape, and so that is the end. But love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.